I'm still long. The bears will eventually be humbled. And that's the title to this article from Seeking Alpha. And I think that is a great punchline for SoFi stock. Things are looking up in the right direction today for SoFi stock, as well as the fundamental future for the business. Nonetheless, we have a lot to talk about, things that can affect SoFi stock this week and will affect SoFi stock this week. We got a lot to get into. Let's get into it. It is that time for a SoFi stock update. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys like these videos, and I hope it makes you some money. As well as that, if you guys want to get those free stocks with Moomoo, deposit $1, get 3 free stocks, as well as an additional free share of NEO upon your $1 deposit clearing. Let's get into it. So for the day, SoFi stock is up a whopping 5.25%. This is just beautiful. We're hanging out around this $10 price. We have been for a while now. We almost hit $10 today, got rejected, found a little bit of resistance. The same story every single day, I feel like, around $10 per share. Now, we're going to dive into the technicals in just 1 second, but I do want to go over the other data and things that are going to affect SoFi this upcoming week. And for the day, as far as news is concerned, there was not anything too crazy. We are having this John F. Kirby press briefing. He's the Pentagon press secretary that is coming on right about now. So we're heading into the end of the day. That could make things, a little bit choppy. Those press briefings from the Pentagon usually do. But we do know Russia and Ukraine are resuming peace talks. Later on tonight will be daytime over there, and they will be going over some things. It doesn't look very likely now that there's been just mass genocides in Bucha that you're going to see some kind of peace negotiation actually go through between Russia and Ukraine, but you can still be optimistic on that. Now, in my personal opinion, the markets have already priced in ending to this conflict, and that is part and part why the markets have actually been rallying so much. And that's really all as far as news that we have. There is like virtually no news for the day. It's very weird for a Monday to have a lack of news, but really that headline and this overall kind of starting to fear the Fed minutes that is on Wednesday is coming from that comment. And like I said, that headline from Fed Williams on Saturday saying that they will start likely reducing the balance sheet by this next upcoming meeting on May 4th. And markets, they're paying attention to it. It seems like things are a little bit shaky. After all, the S&P's up about 1% today, but over half the companies in the S&P are actually down today. So you're really seeing a lot of the stronger names, your Apples, Microsofts, Googles, Amazons, Teslas, Twitter that is carrying the markets today. So it's not really a full risk on move in the markets today. You are seeing the Russell 2000 only up 0.25%, whereas the Nasdaq is up 1.75%. So it's very skewed to a lot of these large cap stocks, something like a good old Apple, which is insane for Apple to be up 2.10% in a day after it's already rallied like 25% in just the past 2 weeks. But nonetheless, that is nor here or there. That is a topic for another video. But coming on Wednesday, if the Fed comes out and says, hey, we need to start reducing the balance sheet, that's going to be a big negative catalyst for the markets, and the markets are going to freak out about that, and that is going to hurt SoFi stock a lot. But the fact that we do come up to $10, we come back down to like $9.50, and we're staying in this range is definitely a good sign rather than a bad sign, right? You don't want to see SoFi stock plummeting through the floor, and that's not what is happening. So that's going to be the big thing to contend with for this week. Nobody knows exactly what will happen when the Fed does reduce trillions of dollars off the balance sheet. It's going to make interest rates go through the roof, and we know that, and that is not going to be good for growing stocks like SoFi, but as well as the Russell 2000. And I think that's why the Russell is actually well underperforming even the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is kind of crazy to actually say that. But nonetheless, for today, you're looking at the probability of a 0.5% rate hike now at 76% flat. And just on Friday, it was at 69.4%. So it's went up about 6.6% just today alone. And the fact that you're seeing the markets actually ripping off of that and the bearish comments we got over the weekend from Fed Williams makes it, in my opinion, more likely that we will see the balance sheet runoff if The Fed is like, hey, the markets can withstand us running off the balance sheet, raising rates 9 or 10 times in a year. Why don't we go ahead and do it? And I heard this great thing. It was from analysts talking to each other, and she had asked him, I don't know names, so don't even ask me these people's names, but she had asked him, if you sat down in a room with Fed Powell and he knew nothing was leaving that room, and you asked him, so we had 5% GDP growth over the last 2 years. Well, would you put us into a small recession to get inflation back down to 2% next year? I think he would say yes. And that was the analyst's conclusions there, that he would probably say yes. So it doesn't look like the markets, especially the markets going up, are going to tone down the Fed's planned moves. So that's going to be the big thing on Wednesday. I cannot stress that enough. That's going to make interest rates go through the roof. Now, let's get into some specific data around SOFI stock, because nothing else is really that important besides that catalyst on Wednesday and then the Fed speakers on Thursday, as well as talks between Russia and Ukraine that are going to resume here in the next couple of hours. And for SOFI stock, if we're taking a look at the option activity, we can see that today you have 0 positive order value, 3 orders totaling $22.52,000. So it's a very low dollar amount day for SOFI options, which does make me more bullish on kind of this rally that we are seeing. It's not really options fueled, it's more so people just buying stock. Now, as far as the short interest, that is sitting at almost 17%. Current shares to our sold short of 122.2 million. Cost borrow max at 4.33%, and the utilization of 100%. As well as the days to cover is at 2.75. So things are looking pretty damn good as far as the short interest is concerned. Once the Fed does U-turn and starts to become more accommodative again, you will see the markets react very favorably to SOFI stock, and SOFI will see a short squeeze when that time does come. But obviously, I don't know when that'll be. It could be more time, it could be less time. It's hard to say exactly. Now, as far as the max pain, that is at $9.50 by the end of this week. If you guys are unfamiliar with max pain, that is where the most amount of option buyers will lose the most amount of money, and that's at $9.50 per share. And that seems about right in line with what we are actually doing for the day. Now, as far as the technical analysis on SOFI stock, not too much else to say. Like usual, we're bouncing, a lot of resistance around $10 per share. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now we've bounced right off of $10 per share, come back down to a low of about $9 per share, about $8.80 right here. That was March 28th. But more times than not, we're just staying in this $9.50 to $10 range, and that's exactly what's happening today. SOFI stock is up about 50%, or 50%. That would be nice. About 50 cents at $9.83 per share. Trying to break out above that. If we do an after hours, cool. If we don't, cool. This is really a long-term buy and hold kind of stock. But even though the stock has not really been going up all too much, you are seeing the MACD that is incredibly bullish right now. Look at this divergence that is remaining very, very constant, even though the price of the stock is really not doing all too much. So pretty interesting right there. And the RSI is starting to curl up. It's pretty much at neutral levels at 49.42. Neutral is at 50, so it's not giving you a clear tale of what is going on, but it is starting to curl up. It looks like we are starting to get some more bullish momentum. Like I said, if we do break out above 10, that next level is the 50-day moving average. That is at $10.74 per share. And for volume for the day, you're sitting at about 29 million, almost 30 million, which is pretty much where we were at on Friday. So less volume, less volatility. You are seeing less volume for the day, but SOFI stock is actually up 5%. So imagine when you do start to see 100 million, 200 million, or possibly 300 million shares that trade hands on any given day, SOFI stock is very much due for a huge green day. But that is also neither here or there. We'll wait and see exactly when that does happen. That's a brief rundown of what you guys need to know. I have some real estate stuff that I gotta take care of today. I'm also a real estate agent. So nonetheless, that's the important things. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as make sure to comment down below your comments, questions, or concerns. Source that information. What trades are you looking at? What plays are you making? What do you think about the Fed meeting or Fed minutes coming on Wednesday? Let me know all of that information. But until then, you guys take care.